I've been thinking about this question, and I've been listening to you for a long time. And it's a question my daughter and I have talked about. She's co-creating with her partner, and his energy is down there. What tools do you use to not be judgmental, but to get yourself back right up there?
So I'm very happy to answer this question about how to maintain our vibration and frequency even when other people's frequency is disturbed or unharmonious. At the same time, just before I do that, I want to remind the viewers here on Alkistis TV to comment below, even during our session. Share the videos with your friends if you feel that they are helping you in your life, so that other people may also benefit. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And of course, I invite you to become a member of Alkistis TV so that you can join these Wednesday Q&A sessions for absolutely free and enjoy other benefits that members get. First, thank you. It's a very good question. And I'm sure a lot of people have this issue, especially people who are on a spiritual path or a path of self-growth. You know, we bring ourselves up to a high vibration, a high well-being, and then there are people in our surroundings, and I don't mean people who mean bad. They just are on a much more mundane or ordinary frequency. And we find ourselves challenged when we are in a situation where we're having to collaborate or we live with them. And we love them. We do love them, because otherwise, you know, your daughter wouldn't have married this person. Or they may be our children, or they may be our parents. We do love these people, and we know that they love us, but they sometimes challenge us because of their negativity, because of them having a stressful day, and they see things, you know, not as bright and beautiful as we tend to see the world. So how do we encounter these people? How do we encounter them? First of all, we must look at them as extensions of ourself, reflections of ourself, all right? It's the first thing you really need to realize is that there's no actual separation between you and that other person. And there are places where your frequencies are converging and other places where there's drifting apart. So we want to remain in our love. We want to remain in the point and the seat of love. We must, first of all, overcome our illusion of separation, our tendency to point a finger at them, because remember, when you're pointing your finger at someone, the three other fingers are pointing back to you. So always remember that you are speaking to an extension and a reflection of yourself. That will help, because once you feel that it's he and me, you know, that separation, or he, I and she, you know, then we have that tendency of making the other people feel like they're the problem, which they're not. They're not at all. This is the illusion of separation. So once we remain rooted in our unconditional love, this is a radical way of living your life. It's completely radical to what we know, what we have grown up to perceive the world as. We've grown up to perceive the world as something separate from us. We've grown up to believe that our self is just this bag of bones. In other words, our skin is a separation to the rest of the world. So here's me, this is my brain, my body, and there's the rest of the world. It's something outside of myself, and this creates the basic anxiety and stress that we have. Once you start realizing that this whole world is a type of illusion of the senses, and nothing more than a dream, as Plato taught, and as quantum scientists are slowly showing us through science, through their experiments, that everything is frequency, everything is vibration. So you need to see yourself as someone who is emitting frequency, all right? When you tune into source, the source energy of the universe, the source creative power, when you tune your own self to that, you begin to radiate that frequency, the frequency of love, the frequency of harmony, and you become like a radio station emitting this frequency. So you are actually independent of what the other people are doing in the room. You don't have to be affected by it. When your signal is strong, and it becomes deeply strong when you are connected to Source, nothing can override that. So you must continue to emit the frequency of love, of unconditional love. And this is a decision you take in your life, that everyone you encounter is a reflection of yourself. And nothing they do need upset you. Now, mind you, in this situation, you are aware of it, and you may agree with what I'm saying. But in those situations, you will be challenged time and time again. Now, having a frequency of unconditional love doesn't mean that you will agree or become a mat that people step on. No, this unconditional love is the non-judgmental type of love. In other words, you're not going to judge the other person. You will understand that that's where their frequency is at. That is the level of consciousness they have. And you can't talk them into raising their frequency. You can only be that frequency. You can only emit that frequency, and they will pick it up. It's like a music. It's like a beautiful harmony. You know, you are attuned with the harmony of the spheres, as Plato taught. There is a universal harmony, and you are tuning into that source and emitting it. You become a channel and radiate that source outwards. Once you start emitting that radiation, the other people cannot help but slowly be drawn into that. And so it begins with non-judging, non-judgmental, emitting the source of love. Now, should you bother telling them that, what you did right there bothers me? For example, you left your toothbrush on the counter, and I've told you 100 times that bothers me. Should you bother communicating, or should you just stay in the vibration and frequency of love? Well, of course, we've been given a voice to speak and to express our feelings and our emotions and our thoughts. So, of course, you can tell your mate or your husband or your wife, you know, what you did right there. You didn't take out the garbage, or you left your toothbrush somewhere. Of course, you can communicate that. But it is the way in which you communicate it that will make all the difference. Okay? You can shout at them, you can scorn them, or you can just simply state it as a fact. You left your toothbrush there, right? And it's really the vibration in which you speak with, the frequency you emit, the emotion, because emotion is frequency. It doesn't have to be one of judging and, a disappointment. It can be just a loving reminder that they've done something that is not, something you agreed with. It's really the frequency, the vibration, the emotion in which you say it with. You can say it in a loving tone, or you can say it in a mean tone, or, one of throwing guilt feelings on the other, trying to pull them into some guilt trip, okay? So it's really how you choose to be in the world. Who do you want to be here and now, okay? So the first thing is breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring yourself to the present moment. Attune yourself to Source. Attune yourself to unconditional love. Commit again once with yourself that I am committed to living in unconditional love. Soften up your thoughts. Soften them up. Soften up your heart. Feel that other person, feel that vibration, okay? Attune and send it to them and then speak, okay? So don't be quick to react and speak and give a fast answer or a fast instruction. Just breathe in, breathe out. And not with the attitude of, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to keep calm, I'm not going to upset myself. See, that's really, the drama queen attitude, right? You don't have to pressure yourself into calming down, into attuning with the Source. You don't have to, suppress anything. Just open yourself up to love. There's no pressure. There's you don't have to have that monologue with yourself that says, I'm just going to keep calm now. I'm just going to not be upset. And I'm not going to let him upset me. Just the sound of your voice, if it's not calm, if it's not the frequency, don't open your mouth. Don't speak. Find that center of love. Find that source of love in the here and now. Now, a lot of you are unaccustomed to attuning to this frequency. You have sporadic instances of love and unconditional love, but let's put it this way, you are out of practice. And in the same way that someone goes to the gym and lifts weights, there's a certain practice involved, okay, in exercising this unconditional love, this frequency, this non-judgmentalism. So this is why I highly recommend that you have your daily practice. In the morning, when you wake up, during the day, there should be a break of awareness, and in the evening. Okay, this is why it's so important to have a daily practice of realignment, attuning with yourself. Okay, You may want to have a morning prayer or a morning meditation that puts you into that source and say, well, whatever I may encounter today, I will remain connected to my source. Because that's what we are here to do, is to connect and to remind ourselves of this connection, this unity with source. During the day, take a time out once or twice or several times. You know, if you live in a monastery, the bell rings every hour. And there's a reason for that. You know, I used to live in an ashram, and they used to just ring a little awareness bell once every hour. And this realigns you with yourself. You can use your phone, you can use technology, a reminder. Then in the evening again, when you fall asleep, just before you fall asleep, become aware of the thoughts you're having just before you fall asleep. Because especially the thoughts you're having right before you fall asleep become deeply ingrained and programmed in your subconscious. So this way you reinforce your level of awareness and your connection to source. And I'll tell you something, it is a spiritual path that you are on. Whether or not you live in a monastery or an ashram, the fact that you are right here in this Zoom call, in this seminar, proves and shows that you have the intention of connecting to source and rising above it all, if you like, rising above all the melodrama and the drama of our life. It's just that today, modern people, we don't have to go live in a monastery to live a spiritual life. You can be amongst others and still be doing the work, the inner work, the clearing and realigning yourself. So take these opportunities of challenge as opportunities to realign with your source. Be grateful. When someone does something, the person you're living with, that, you know, freaks you out or puts you off, say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sending me this message. Thank you for reminding me to go within, to connect with source and connect with unconditional love. Because that, my dear friend, is going to keep you in harmony. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can knock you off of that. Take it as a game. Take it as a game. You know, people go play video games to get points. You play tennis to get points. Make it your spiritual game. Okay? Yes, I bypassed that trap. That little trap that was being, you know, this little challenge that was sent to me today. Okay? People pay good money to go into an escape room, okay, where they are challenged with various clues and obstacles so they can break out and get to the next room and get out of the escape room. We pay good money. This is a form of entertainment. Your soul, before arriving on earth, has done exactly the same thing. Has said, I am going to go into a human form. I am going to get these challenges, to be challenged by this game here on earth. And I will rise above it. This is the name of the game. That you decided before your soul incarnated into the body. And as you progress and pass your tests, you will go to the next level and the next level. All right? So if you want to read more about this, you can go into the writings of Plato and the teachings about the allegory of the cave and the higher levels of form and ideas. I just put that out to you if you want to go deeper and research about Greek philosophy on that. But other than that, I hope that was useful to you to become a practitioner of connecting with Source and emitting the positive frequency of love, peace, and harmony to your surroundings. This is why you're here. This is why you're really here. It's not for your job. It's not to make a lot of money. It's not to, even travel the world. Okay? As Marcel Proust said, it's not in traveling and seeing new landscapes, but in having new eyes. The moment you open your eyes to understand this frequency game, this illusion of the material, and the illusion of separation, everything will become a lot easier for you. So practice with that, and I'd love to hear your comments, and keep sending me your questions. I'm thrilled when I get to answer your life questions. Lots of love from Greece. Make sure you sign up to my membership program and subscribe to this channel.